The people of Six Nations are trying to quell growing violence on the reserve. Chief Mark Hill says there's been an increase in violence as COVID winds down and criminal activity gears up. One strategy they're trying is to steer young people away from trouble and away from guns, gangs, and drugs with federal help. Al Sweeney has the story.
The people of Six Nations have been watching a growing cycle of violence on their reserve. Robberies, assaults, and even shootings. And they're fed up with it.
There was a point in time where you didn't even have to lock your doors. Now you have security cameras, you have guards, you have gates, that's something that, we shouldn't have to get to that point. We all live here, we all work here. The general public of Six Nations is tired of it.
The police chief says the problem stems from drugs. They made a $1.5 million drug bust just last week. He says the drugs lead to guns and gangs and other crime.
It's increased in the last few years, mainly from a policing perspective and a law enforcement perspective due to the influx of drugs in the community. Like the hard drugs, we're talking cocaine, fentanyl, heroin.
In the fight to stop the violence, the federal minister of public safety was in Six Nations to announce $1.9 million to support programs on the reserve aimed at keeping kids out of trouble in the first place.
To address the root causes that lead to violence, and specifically gun violence. And it's about empowering Six Nations to get at those root causes by creating safe spaces so that people who are at risk and who are exposed to criminal organized crime or to other elements which could put them in possession of a gun make the right choices.
This announcement today is part of the federal strategy to fight gun violence. The federal government has tabled Bill C-21 that would impose a new freeze on handguns and introduce new laws around gun licenses and measures against gun smuggling. The federal money announced today will be used for programs and services like police support for sports to get kids away from gangs.
I feel like it gives a good opportunity for these kids to start off finding something that they like to do.
Yeah, it's working for a lot of kids.
It's the programs that have to start on the preventative side of things and at a younger age.
Al Sweeney, CHCH News, Six Nations.